Hey Monicos, what's going on? JK here, Baseball Rebellion. Got your updated version of the hesitation hitting now, and there's some good stuff here, man, for sure. One thing that I would always make sure I'm doing is I'm really accurately striding into my foot down position as much as possible. You're doing a good job there. Trying to get open, of course, with the front side like we talked about. Making sure that we see some wrinkles in your shirt, which is really good. So I'm going to send you an updated version of this drill. I'm going to have obviously me over here to the left doing it, and the one you're going to get is going to have my voice and is going to highlight some things that I want you to work on. One of the things we talked about was feeling that tension and stretch. Also something I want you to add, like I mentioned before, is that tilt. Like right now you're very up and down, like you're very tall, very vertical, so your head is over your, like straight up from your belly button. When I want your head kind of leaning towards the camera more over your belly button than it looks right here. And you can see my posture is a little bit different. Both of our heads are in pretty good places back here over our back hip for the most part, right? But you can see how I'm kind of crouched and kind of leaning towards the plate just a little bit. That's just going to set me on a better angle, better plane to swing. Because right now, this ball right here that you'd be hitting obviously is pretty high, belt high. And when you go to turn, you do a good job of turning, and your bat does a pretty good job of getting behind the ball and into kind of this nice flat rotation with a slight bend, because you are trying to swing up, which is good, and we're continuing to try to really hit the top net. But you're going to see one thing that's really different in mine. This is what I want you to do a little bit differently on the next time. I'm just advancing through the drill here. This is all good stuff. This is a good sign. So when I go ahead and put my foot down here, I'll land open because I want to go ahead and set that. But what I want you to do differently is I want you to try to turn in a little more. So you see how I kind of like turn in just a little bit more? So you can see the difference, like right before you go, your elbow, let's start you back up here. Your elbow is closer to the camera, okay? I really want to pull my elbow back towards this net here behind me. Your elbow is still kind of like right over your leg. I want you to really pull your elbow back towards that room that you're working on in the back, which, by the way, your basement's coming together nice. And then I also want you to pull this hip back again towards the same net. So pull the elbow back, and then turn this hip back. So we're basically locked and loading our hips, kind of like pulling a trigger back on a pistol or something like that. All right, because when your hip is already this much forward, okay, it's kind of quote unquote already gone. You've already kind of started. So that's something that I want us to change just a little bit. Again, it's just like, hesitation hitting, 2.0, just a slight advancement in the drill. We're just trying to progress you through the stages right here, through the phases. So turn that hip back not towards the umpire, like back towards that room. Back towards that room. Pull the elbow back towards the room like you see me right here. Point everything back, because I want to show the picture of my back a little bit. I want to show the picture a little bit of my front pocket, okay? And then as I go to turn, really watch the angle of my rotation. So when I start, I turn back even more. I want to get as much as I can in a realistic manner. And I'm really trying to turn the bat back here fast, okay? So this is getting into some bat path stuff. But notice the angle of my blur on my bat. It's way more like down towards the ground. And the angle of, again, because I think the ball height is a little bit higher, I'd probably lower it maybe a little bit to in between knee height and belly button height. But the blur of your bat is very sideways, which is good because the ball is higher, and it's going to be more sideways and more kind of parallel to the ground, as opposed mine's going to be more of a windmill type of bat path, and that's fine because, again, like I said, the pitch height. But the difference, I don't know if you can tell, is just the angle of rotation. You do a good job, though, of keeping your head back over your back knee, and as I get my body to contact, you can see and really see that similarity in kind of where our heads are, but hopefully you can see the tilt in the shoulders a little bit better. So, I'm really tilted, and unfortunately, I don't have a front view of this just for sake of not blowing up my iPad, but I'm really tilted in here to the side, and I can really feel that pressure there, and I want to see more of that out of you. But for the most part, we're pretty close to being identical here. And there's something else you can see, kind of more the top of my head, where your head is very tall, again, because of just the angle and the postures and stuff. Okay, so really the big change is just feeling more turned in at the beginning, like really getting the counter rotated more back and around. This is going to be more backing in. This is going to be more backing in. All right, as opposed to being, this already kind of going that way, this kind of in a neutral spot. I want you to really turn everything back and towards that room back there. Okay, great job with this, though. You're doing great with all the stuff I'm asking you to do. Continue to work, and I'm excited to see what you guys come up with.